The vast corridors of the alien starship echoed with a soft hum of energy. The walls shimmered with a strange, iridescent light, changing colors as if the ship itself breathed. Among the few humans aboard, one man stood out, not for his strength or skill, but for his constant unease. His name was Liam. He had been assigned to guard Princess Aria, the daughter of the ruling alien house. During her diplomatic journey through human-controlled space, Liam had trained for years for dangerous missions, from tactical maneuvers to advanced combat. Yet nothing had prepared him for Aria. She moved with a grace that seemed effortless, yet sharp with intelligence. She spoke softly, yet every word carried authority that unsettled Liam in a way he had never experienced. The morning had started like any other. Liam checked the perimeter of the ship's observation deck, ensuring all security protocols were active. He had grown accustomed to the quiet solitude of his duties, yet a sense of vigilance never left him. When he returned to Aria's private chamber, he found the door slightly ajar. She was sitting by a tall window, looking out at the swirling stars beyond. Her hair shimmered under the alien sun's rays, flowing like liquid silver. She turned as he entered, a small smile tugging at her lips. "Good morning." "Liam," she said softly. "Good morning." "Princess," he replied, keeping his tone formal, though his heart had a way of betraying his nervousness. "I thought I saw something interesting outside," Aria said, gesturing toward a distant nebula. Her voice was calm, almost teasing. Liam couldn't stop noticing how even her casual movements seemed deliberate, commanding attention without demanding it. "You shouldn't linger here alone," he said. Stepping closer, his training pushing him to assert authority. "The observation deck is secure, but accidents happen." Aria chuckled softly. "I know you are worried about me," she said, standing and walking toward him. Her movement was fluid, almost hypnotic. "But have you forgotten who I am?" The word struck Liam harder than any warning or command he had ever received. Her gaze held his unwavering. It was not anger, but a quiet, potent authority that made his limbs tense. He wanted to respond, to speak, but his mouth felt dry. He could only nod, his body shaking slightly despite himself. Aria tilted her head, studying him. "I trust you, Liam, but I also need to see the universe. You cannot cage me in this ship." He swallowed hard. "I don't want to cage you, Princess. He hesitated, searching for words. "I need to make sure you are safe." "Safety is important," she agreed, stepping closer until their hands almost touched. "But experience is what makes life worth living. You'll see, Liam. One day you will understand." Before he could respond, alarms blared through the ship. Red lights bathed the corridors in a crimson hue. Liam immediately tensed, his military instincts kicking in. "Liam!" Aria's voice called out, urgent but still calm. "Something is happening in the docking bay." He grabbed her hand, guiding her toward the secure passage. "Stay close." He barked, scanning the hallways for threats. They emerged into the docking bay, where a group of mercenaries had breached the outer defenses. They were armed with energy rifles and moving with coordinated precision, clearly trained for this operation. Liam's heart pounded, but his training took over. He positioned himself between Aria and the intruders. "Princess, stay behind me," he ordered, pulling a blaster from his holster. Aria didn't argue. Instead, she crouched slightly, her eyes scanning the enemies, calculating. Liam had seen many soldiers, human and alien, but none like her. She seemed to understand tactics instinctively, noticing weaknesses in their formation. The first shot rang out. Liam moved instinctively, deflecting an energy blast with his forearm guard and returning fire. The attackers were relentless, but Liam's focus never wavered. He felt the surge of adrenaline, a familiar rush, but there was something different this time. Every time he looked at Aria, His resolve hardened, not just for survival, but for her. One of the mercenaries aimed directly at Arya. Without thinking, Liam threw himself in front of her, the blast grazing his shoulder. Pain shot through him, but he remained on his feet, firing with precise bursts. Arya sprang forward, using the chaos to her advantage. She moved with agility and precision, knocking one mercenary off balance and disabling another with a swift, almost dance-like motion. Liam watched, awe mixed with fear. She was not just a princess. She was a warrior in her own right. When the final attacker fled, retreating into a waiting shuttle, Liam lowered his weapon slightly, breathing heavily. Arya approached him, her hand resting on his arm. "You fought well," she said, her voice soft but filled with warmth. "But you shouldn't have risked yourself like that." Liam shook his head. "I would have risked anything for you," he admitted quietly. Unable to hide the intensity in his voice, Arya studied him, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then she smiled. "You understand now," she said simply. "The universe is not as simple as safety and danger. Courage, instinct, and the willingness to act, that is what makes humans remarkable." He blinked, the weight of her words sinking in. For the first time, he realized that this was more than a mission. Protecting her was not about rules or orders. It was about trust, instinct, and the recognition of what it meant to be human in a galaxy full of beings far stronger and more advanced than him. Days passed, and their journey continued through star systems filled with strange, glowing planets and swirling asteroid fields. Liam noticed that Arya often slipped away from the watchful eyes of the crew, exploring the ship, studying alien devices, or simply staring out at the stars. Each time she returned, she would meet his gaze with that same calm authority, silently challenging him to respect her freedom while remaining vigilant. One evening, they were alone in the ship's garden dome, an artificial landscape filled with alien flora and softly glowing pools. Liam sat on the edge of a pool, watching small luminescent fish drift beneath the surface. Arya joined him, her reflection shimmering alongside his. "Do you ever wonder," she said quietly, "what it means to be human in a galaxy that sees us as fragile, limited, and weak?" Liam looked at her, searching for the right words. "I don't think we are weak," he said finally. "We survive, we adapt, and we care. That makes us strong in ways others cannot understand." Arya's eyes softened. "That is why I trust you, Liam. You see beyond appearances. You see the potential in us, in yourself." He shook his head, a small laugh escaping him. "I'm just a soldier, princess. I follow orders, I protect, I survive." "Perhaps," she said, touching his hand gently. "But survival is not enough. What you feel, what you fight for, that is what shapes heroes. That is what makes humans special." For the first time, Liam understood the full weight of her words. He realized that her trust was not blind. It was earned through observation, through understanding the choices he made, and through the courage he displayed not just in battle, but in compassion, restraint, and integrity. Their journey was not without challenges. They faced asteroid storms, hostile alien patrols, and complex political negotiations. Yet through it all, Liam found that his bond with Arya grew stronger. She respected his judgment and encouraged him to think beyond orders, beyond duty. She challenged him to see the galaxy not just as a place of danger, but as a canvas for human ingenuity, resilience, and courage. During one tense negotiation with a rival alien house, Liam's calm reasoning and human perspective prevented an interstellar conflict. Arya watched him from across the council chamber, a quiet pride in her eyes. "You surprise me, Liam," she whispered when they were alone afterward. "You mean I survived without causing a war?" he replied, trying to make light of the situation. Arya smiled softly. "No, I mean, you made them see reason. That is no small feat for a human. As months passed, Liam noticed a subtle shift in the way the crew treated him. They still respected him as a soldier, but there was also a quiet reverence, an acknowledgement that humans, though limited in certain ways, possessed a unique combination of courage, adaptability, and empathy that even the most advanced species could not replicate. One night, while the ship drifted through a quiet sector of space, Liam and Arya stood on the observation deck, watching a distant binary star system. Arya's voice broke the silence. "Have you forgotten who you are, Liam?" she asked softly, echoing the words she had spoken months earlier. He turned to her, surprised. I think I understand now," he said. "I know who I am, and I know what I fight for. I fight for humans, for life, and for those I care about." Arya smiled, a rare, full smile that lit her entire face. "Then you understand why I trust you, why I believe in you. That is why humans can stand among the stars. Liam, because you do not merely survive, you choose, you act, and you inspire." He felt a shiver run down his spine, not from fear, but from the realization that he had grown in ways he had never imagined. The human spirit, fragile as it might seem, had proven itself capable of facing challenges that even the most advanced species could not. The ship continued its journey, carrying them to distant worlds, through political intrigue and dangerous encounters. Yet Liam no longer felt the tremors of doubt that had plagued him at the beginning. He had faced the impossible, fought alongside a being of immense power, and learned that being human was not a limitation. It was a gift. Arya's trust and respect became a quiet anchor for him, a reminder that humanity had a place among TH,